Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teamwork Design, where we strive to design life from conversation to communication. I am your host, Terry Mera. When I came to New York late 1994, I met this girl who is a year younger than me. She came to New York, I think, 3 months before I did. We met in an after school program that teaches English. We got along very well, and as a teenage girls, we shared a lot of our emotions, thoughts, boy issues, relationship issues, family issues, body issues, trends, clothes, you name it. But years later, she had to went back to Korea, and we kept in touch barely because she had to readjust herself into Korean culture again, and I was busy working and attending school. When she returned a couple of years later, that's where we got to reconnect. My life then was not the same as she knew it because we are not kids anymore, you know? I was married, I had thriving fashion designer career, lived in the penthouse in the middle of Manhattan in the fashion district. I had a few fashion shows already, built my brand and collection, traveled for business, partied only at the known clubs. Many people were around. She witnessed and experienced parts of it. We partied, hung out, and even traveled together. Then one day she told me, "Terry, you are living your dream." So I asked her to elaborate on her meaning because I didn't understand. And she said, "Do you remember when we were kids? You told me that you wanted to be a fashion designer, that you want to have your own fashion shows, and you want to live in the city. Guess what? Now you've done it all and living it." Well, she was right, but I didn't know. When I realized that initially, I was so proud of myself and my ego was shooting up high for a moment. Then I felt empty. I felt sinking. And I felt something sucked my life out of it. As a young adult, with a simple desire that I had, I achieved it. And I am so grateful to experience it. However, it took me many years to figure out why I felt sinking, empty, and I felt lost after the realization that I did all that as she acknowledged. Because now what? That's the question I couldn't figure out after that realization. Then my life started to shift before my eyes. I was not happy anymore, but I didn't know, and I didn't even have a time to figure it out because I got pregnant with my daughter. I was busy being pregnant, and after my daughter was born, I was busy with being the best mother I can be. With this now what cloud over my head, I pursued whatever opportunities came before me to earn money to pay the bills while learning about motherhood for years. I know I had a desire, but I could not articulate for years. I felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like I learned a needle wasn't in the haystack, but how could I find it? That's the only way I can describe. Then I lived a life that I was not in charge. For my ego to admit and realize this truth took years. One form of my desperate attempt to find what it is was running. The reason I am sharing my story with you is for you to know how important it is to define your desires. If you neglect them, you may go through what I went through. At this very moment, I am in the process of refining my desires. I know what I want to do, but I am learning to articulate the exact version that I want to achieve. Please do not neglect the power of your desire. As I shared my experience, I did achieve it, but more importantly, know and define your intention and purpose of your desire. because I didn't have any. That's why I felt the sinking, emptiness, and some level of depression as well. If you are in a place where you are manifesting your dreams and goals, I am so happy for you. And my wish is for anyone, including myself, to be in that place. That means if you are not in a place where you have yet to manifest and live your dreams and goals, this is for us. Do you want to change your life? Yes? That means you are aware of your potential. What would you like to change? This question will help you exactly what you have not met your potential. And why would you like to change? This question will help you to define reasons and intention. How are you going to change? This is where I want you to be patient with yourself. Whatever ways to achieve the better, start small enough for you to achieve every day. 30 minutes of reading can be a bit much for you, then break down to 15 or 5 minutes, whether in the morning or before going to bed. Implement every opportunity you get. If you have no time to take a walk or a run or exercise, then take stairs instead of escalator or elevator. The only reason I was able to face my fear of putting myself in a public space, posting and promoting my podcast, started with my desire and intention. I know it's far from perfect. Who am I kidding? But guess what? It is a proof and became a benchmark that I could face my internal fear. Some of my friends shared with me that they have imposter syndrome. Because of it, they're having a hard time moving on to the next act. That means you have not yet refined your desire enough to feel it in your heart. When you have a clarity regarding your desire with the intention and purpose, it triggers a particular emotion. That's your energy source to move on to the next act. Whatever you desire, know that the only person stopping you from achieving it is you, no one else. What do you desire in your life? Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Terry Mara.